Alright, so I'm gonna make this video on a different angle this time, and I wanted to explain a little bit of how getting a tarot card reading or a horoscope reading is not the same as a psychic interpretive reading. Um, Psychics are people who are gifted with some version of foresight, whether it's intuitive, it's meditation and coming back to you the next day. I'm really good at that. I can lay out your cards and use multiple decks for the better part of 2 hours, and we can talk about anything and everything. And people really seem to enjoy that. But watching a YouTube video on your horoscope is not going to give you necessarily the psychic insight that sometimes you need. Sometimes you need to hire someone um, to look into your stuff. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes it's $30, sometimes it's 100, but sometimes it's necessary. And I want to give people the encouragement and bravery to know that that's okay. It's okay to not be able to Google away your problems and resolve everything. I will say that it's a great tool for learning your sign, your planets, if you believe in that sort of thing. There's two different types of astrology if you weren't aware. So, there's tropical astrology, tropical, and then sidereal. And those are two different methods. If you're not familiar with that, then I suggest you Google that in a different video. But sometimes you need that psychic insight, and some people just refuse to get it, and they're trying to figure out, why can't I figure this out? I watched this many horoscope videos for this month. That might not be the insight that you need. Sometimes your readers on YouTube, they don't resonate. If that person doesn't resonate, just keep it pushing. Find another person who does. I don't recommend that you blend interpretations with different YouTube users either, tarot card users either. Sometimes that can get muddled, but I might have a specific relationship with a certain god or goddess that really helps me to help you, as well as other readers. You know what I'm saying? Like, their specific way that they work might just be way more beneficial than a 10-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour video. There is the one gentleman on here who does, I think his videos are an hour and a half on each sign each month, and I forget the gentleman, but he has a dog often in his videos, and his videos are just so lovely. He splits it up into different segments. He explains his meditation method, he explains the cards, he explains his interpretation, and his videos are like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. I cannot remember the gentleman, I'm so sorry. But that is a psychic interpretation. That is helpful. Things like past life regressions and knowing your star chart, those things are helpful, but sometimes you just need someone who is just gifted to give you that extra boost and extra step. Even if it's just once a year, once every other year, something. Not everybody has that ability. Not everybody should. But I do know that divination, everyone who loves it and is able to use it, they thoroughly enjoy it. For example, I have a friend who is not using tarot cards, but he uses runes, and uses the runes just about every day, him and his wife, and the runes are spot on clear on their daily draws, on whatever topic or question they're specifically asking, and that works for him. And it is spot on. It's not a psychic interpretation, but he's getting the answers that he needs. You see what I'm saying? He is able to go through different methods for divination and information seeking and has found something that works for him that he's able to do on his own, and that's fantastic. And once in a while he'll ask me to read for him, and it might be once a year, but he's my friend and he actually came to my wedding. But I still explain everything ain't for everybody, and tarot cards and astrology aren't for everybody. Some people just need a psychic. Some people just need somebody with some foresight who can read on them and lay hands on them, I guess, so to speak. someone who's gifted and is able to set things up in a way that makes sense. I have another girlfriend who is amazingly intuitive. And when I read her and then I was so shook by the cards, I decided I have to read for you again tomorrow or in 2 days after I've meditated on you. And that's when I learned that since she was in the womb, as soon as her mother found out that she was a girl, she was doomed. Her mother hates her and has been the source of a good amount of grief all of her life. That's not something a card reading necessarily told me, but I did need to lay on that, on her energy, with certain things that we exchanged. I'm not going to go into details because, you know, how I do my readings is different for every person and it's private. But knowing that liberated her culturally. And her being able to access her heritage relied very heavily on acknowledging, hey, you have this block that was put there on purpose because this person, your mother, doesn't like you. Sure, she's your mother and provided for you. That's the requirement. But being jealous of your own child should, no child should have to experience that. If sometimes listening to meditations and tarot readings is too much drama, maybe just put on some nice music and unplug. I also recommend unplugging, where you don't listen to any spiritual advice for a period of time. Really just clean your home, maybe take a day off work. Just really make it about yourself. Self-care, that's the trend, right? Self-care is very important, and I recommend that everybody do so, because you're going to receive messages on the other side of that. They're going to be much clearer, much cleaner, more specified to yourself and to your situation. I hope that this video makes sense, but tarot ain't for everybody. It's not. Tarot cards are not for everybody, and there is more than one system of divination with which to get information from. There's the T card readers, there's the Oracle card readers, the Angel card readers. That's hit or miss for me. As you all may or may not know, Miss Doreen Virtue has made many millions of dollars with her Angel cards, and she is now a Christian and is abstaining from all things esoteric and spiritual, and says that it's all witchcraft and demons. But she still made her millions and is still making her millions because she still gets her royalties. Okay, so Doreen Virtue has great cards and they're beautiful, and there's lots of people who use her cards, but that energy right there is a no for me. So with that said, there's more than one system, there's more than one way. There's the crystal grids, there's the runes, there's getting an actual psychic interpreter who can read for you either on YouTube or booking with somebody that you trust. Doing this work is what's needed beforehand to doing any sort of spell or witchcraft. Some people don't do the witchcraft thing, and that's fine, but you still would want to make sure that you have some type of spiritual guidance as far as what you're supposed to be doing, who you're supposed to be associating with, what actions need to be taken, if it's okay to do this just yet. You know, and those things aren't necessarily clear with just a picture and some cards. That's all I'm saying. I think I talked enough, and I feel like I gave quite a bit of information here. But of course, again, it's Shay, and I'll speak to you guys in the next video.